Hey guys, it's Vince with Mastering the Method, and today I want to cover my experience so far with the BuildTak laminate. I just got done running another build cycle, and again, my print came out like glass as usual, but I do notice a difference on the texture on your first layer. And you can see what I've got here, and this is nylon carbon fiber. It is Makerbot's filament. But the finish on this is amazing. I am using Simplify 3D again as my slicer, and you can see exactly what we've got here. But I want to cover what I'm seeing with this build plate. Once again, I'm just removing the brim. You can see how easy this comes up. Okay, we have a little bit of where the glue was, but you can see this build plate is just immaculate. And this right now has already had over 30 hours of printing, and it looks amazing. The only thing that you'll experience, no different than what you will with the stock laminate, is that you will always get a slight mark wherever your nozzle makes contact to do the assisted leveling feature. Now, I always do it prior to printing. To me, there's no way you're ever going to humanly place this build plate in the exact same spot every single time. So best practice is to always run the assisted leveling, and naturally when that nozzle comes down and makes contact with your build plate to touch off, you're always going to get a little residual mark. Other than that, this is holding up amazing at 32 hours. Again, my heat has not even been on, and the print, as far as staying there and to be removed, has been absolutely fantastic. And I once again, I can't say this enough, I'm not being reimbursed by BuildTak in any way, but so far, this has been amazing. I'm going to clean it again, I'm going to run another print on it, and I'll continue with this log because I think many of you want to see this. I certainly do. Thank you all for your support. Take care. Hey guys, it's Vince with Mastering the Method, and you can see we've got another print completed on our new BuildTak plate. Now I've got roughly 40 plus hours, I believe it's like 42 hours on this build plate doing production run. And I am really enthused to keep documenting how this plate holds up. But so far, it's just been fantastic. I'm going to cut over now and show you exactly the result for the print and also the build plate. Okay guys, I've removed the build plate naturally from the printer, and hopefully the 4K phone can pick this up. The finish on this looks amazing as usual, but I want to show you just how easy this releases. And that's it. Once again, we can see a perfect finish for our first layer. This component came out great. And again, doing production runs with these enclosures are amazing. And I want you to see what we're left with. I'm just pulling the brim off now. And you can see very little shadowing. We have no indentation in the build plate, which is fantastic. That means naturally the adhesive of the laminate is staying where it needs to be. Now, again, in all fairness, I'm keeping my temperature about 35 degrees Celsius to print this. So I believe typical temperature with nylon carbon in general is like 80. So that's a dramatic difference. All I'm doing is applying a little bit of glue stick using my method with my squeegee. You can see that on previous videos, and it is holding up like literal glass. You can see that right there. And other than the little shadowing from where the part actually made contact, absolutely perfect. To remove the part, virtually no resistance needed, and again, we are getting an amazing finish. And this is being printed at 0.1 millimeter, so let's see where we're at. But I believe the initial first layer, first of all, you're not getting that heavy glue residue, which I love. It just gives the part a real nice finished look, and the smoothness on the initial first layer is just amazing, which is something I'm really taking notes on because, again, I label a lot of my parts. I do have graphic equipment, so I can do labeling on these, so it's something that I always look at is how that first layer finishes. I know many of you are concerned with that as well, and you can see what we've got here. So I'm going to keep this going because this is really interesting to me, and just knowing that it can save not just myself but many of you money in terms of actually using this printer the way it was designed for production. Now, so pushing over 50 hours of time on this BuildTak build plate. You can see another print here is finished, and I haven't pulled it out of the printer yet, but rest assured it looks like glass. I'm just going to skip this. And I do want to show you guys, let's see if there we go. And I do want to show you guys, because I get a lot of questions on this, my sensor as far as the humidity, and I believe you can see bay 1 is at 1% humidity. That is insane, guys. Once you start hitting that single digit humidity level, you will see your prints totally change. And one area of visible sign that you will see immediately is you notice there's no string of filament out of the model extruder. That's extruder 1. Typically you get that. This came out fantastic. I'm going to pause this now and I will shoot it when I pull out the build plate. Okay, we've got the build plate out, and I just separated the component once again, and you guys can see I am not kidding you. The finish on this part is amazing as usual, but most impressive, at least for me, what my experience has been, is the fact, of course we can see the inside too, is in fact, of course, the way the build plate is holding up. Now I'm pulling the brim off, and look at the release of this. It just literally comes right off. There is no more texture. I cannot emphasize enough the quality of this build plate, but I'm also going to say this. In all fairness, I have not tested the Makerbot Laminate using no heat or very low heat. I have a sneaky suspicion, and usually I'm pretty much right, is that they're telling us to use too much heat, and with too much heat you're going to degrade the length of your laminate. So pay attention to that. Even if you don't have the BuildTak, lower your heat, guys. There's no reason to cook your part other than to make it adhere. Any more than that, and you're really just going to degrade how long that build plate lasts. But if you look at this, other than the glue overlay, which you can see right there, the release of the part with this is fantastic. I cannot believe it. It kind of feels almost like you're peeling a decal. That's what it reminds me of. And the first layer finish is just nuts. When you feel it, the texture feels so smooth and uniform. It's just a beautiful part. And that's something that I've noticed now repetitively. So these are things to just keep in mind. Once again, we're over 50 hours. This plate looks fantastic, other than where, of course, we make contact to do our assisted leveling. Other than that, there is absolutely nothing on this plate. It is amazing. Still silky smooth, no texture other than naturally the built-in texture. The laminate feels like it's still stuck down perfectly. Again, guys, I would at least check it out if you are having trouble with the stock laminate. But again, before you do any purchasing of anything, always lower your heat, dial it in right, and see what effect you have. I'm going to continue testing this because, again, it's fantastic. I might actually test it with some ABS. I'm sure many of you want to see that. I'm kind of curious myself, and we'll go from there. Thank you all for your support. Take care.